What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing well today. And to all my new supporters joining us, welcome to the family. I hope you all enjoyed this video today just as much as myself, because this is one of them ones. Highly, highly recommended. So I'm not wasting no more time today. I will be checking out 10 reasons not to move to Australia. Is animals one of the reasons? I got to stop with these animals, man. I know. I gotta stop with these animals. I gotta visit Australia one day so I can actually have a personal one-on-one interaction with some of these animals, so I can face my fears, man. I'm not scared of animals. I'm really just scared of snakes. Oh my goodness. And that will be one of the reasons why I would never move to Australia, because the wildlife. And I had some of y'all in the comments talking about, yeah, I was home, I was just playing the game and I felt something moving across my feet. I looked down and there was a snake just slithering across my toes. Huh? It's just normal. It's just another day, huh? And he said it actually happened on 2 occasions in the same week. So it must be normal. And ain't no snake slithering into my house. Oh, ain't no snake slithering into my house. Let's go ahead and jump right into this video. Talking about a snake was slithering across your toes while you were playing the game.
Today we're talking about the land down under, Australia. Is it a country? Is it a continent? Do kangaroos really just roam freely about? Sounds like fake news to me. But it's not. The world's 6th largest country is a giant 3 million square mile island continent stuck between the Indian and Pacific Oceans. And this strange geographic location is what makes Australia such an ecological and biological anomaly with so much diverse nature and wildlife
so
unique only to the country. From Tasmania to the stunning beaches to the outback rainforests and Great Barrier Reef, there is so much natural beauty to be found here. But not only is the nature stunning, Australia is also home to a few highly advanced cosmopolitan cities, with the 2 biggest cities, Sydney and Melbourne, routinely ranking among the top 5 best cities to live in the world. Speaking of which, let's hit 5,000 likes and I'll do a video on the top 10 best cities.
You and my supporters actually live in Sydney. Y'all must have that money, huh? Y'all must have got your bag right.
Cities to live in the world. Anyways, it isn't hard to see why the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples have lived here for over 60,000 years. Of course, the British also did their imperialist thing and claimed the continent in 1788 as a penal colony for their convicts, but Australia eventually gained independence in 1901. And since then, the land down under has become a country with one of the highest qualities of life, a great healthcare and education system, incredibly low crime, vibrant and welcoming residents, and an excellent economy with hardly any poverty. Nonetheless, only 25.5 million people actually live here, and less than 100,000 of those are US expats.
Wait, there must be a reason only 1 to 4,000 new Americans immigrate here each year, right?
Well, maybe you'll find out in my top 10 reasons not to move to Australia. Number 10. It gets hot. Contrary to popular belief, most of Australia isn't all perfect year-round temperatures. Well, unless you're in Sydney or Perth, but even those get some bad days each year. And although a few cities on the southern coast and Tasmania actually get hit by really cold fronts coming up from Antarctica, the real issue in most of Australia is the heat. There is a reason nearly 90% of Australians live within 50 kilometers of the coast. The heat makes the rest of the country basically unlivable, especially in the outback where temperatures can reach 50 degrees Celsius. That's 122 Fahrenheit. Heck, it gets so hot in the desert here that the opal miners back in the day ended up building an underground settlement called Cooper Pedy to protect them from the heat.
That's not so bad. It's like an underground layer, like on some Batman type of stuff. I like that. I'll live in that. You gotta tell me twice. I'll live on the ground like
It's
that.
pretty cool, actually. And even though the cooling effects of the ocean make the coastal areas more livable, most of the cities will still get days above 40 degrees Celsius during the summer. Add in some of the most beautiful beaches in the world with tons of sunny days to enjoy, and the fact that you're pretty darn close to the equator, and it isn't hard to see why 2/3 of Australians are diagnosed with skin cancer by the age of 70. Oh, and I'd be remiss to not talk about that other thing the heat and sun cause as well. Bushfires.
That is beautiful,
You've
man.
probably already heard about the wildfires that have decimated 46 million acres and killed 450.
See, it gets so hot that wildfires just start happening. Like, no. You don't need to be living anywhere where it get that hot that a wildfire could just spark. Oh my goodness. Or at least you need to stay away from that type of area. Oh man.
51 people this past year alone, but sadly it's not the first, and it definitely won't be the last.
All the
Number 9,
koalas, man.
it's isolated. You might have wondered why so many Australians have left their beautiful homeland that seems a lot like paradise to most Americans. But the reality is that many Aussies feel trapped, lonely, and isolated from the rest of the world. And while you may think that's silly, since you can just hop on a plane and fly to a nearby country like Indonesia or Singapore, it actually isn't so simple. Most Australians live in the southeastern part of the country, so a flight to anywhere other than New Zealand means crossing the giant continent of Australia and then some, or just the entire Pacific Ocean. Basically, even those close countries end up being anywhere from a 6 to 10 hour flight away.
Oh.
It's at least a 14-hour flight if you're going to the US, and you should expect
14 hours? Now. First class is the only option.
to spend over 24 hours in airplanes and airports if you want to visit anywhere in Europe. And before you comment,
So what if other countries are far away? Australia's huge. Just explore that.
well, the thing about that is that Australia isn't just isolated from other countries. The cities here are actually really isolated from each other. The land down under is the third least densely populated country in the world, with just 3 people per square kilometer, and it only has 5 real cities with metro populations over 1 million residents. So, as I'm sure you can guess, the population centers are very spread out, and most of Australia is very remote. For example, the 2 closest big cities would be Sydney and Melbourne, but they're still an 8.5-hour drive apart. Melbourne to Brisbane's an 18-hour drive, Adelaide to Darwin's a 31-hour drive, and Sydney to Perth is a 41-hour non-stop trek with pretty much nothing in between.
Forget that. What's the speed limit then? Man, I don't want to see no speed limit signs then if we driving this far. I bet not see not one speed limit sign. Not one. What you mean? Hey, man.
Number 8,
I'll push it
time
away.
zones. Speaking of isolation, Australia isn't just physically isolated from other countries. You're also going to have trouble keeping in touch with your family or friends back home unless they live somewhere in Asia. Australia is an entire Pacific Ocean away from the US and 2 continents length away from Europe, so the time zones are practically exact opposites. Now, Australia has 3 main time zones, but for the sake of just showing how different the times are, when it's 7 a.m. in Sydney, it's 10 p.m. in London, and when it's 6 a.m. in Perth, it'd be 6 p.m. in New York.
That's right. Because when I post my videos, I have to post my videos at 2 a.m. At 2 a.m. so you guys could watch the video in the evening at 4 p.m. Yeah.
I get that this is just more of an inconvenience than a huge deal, but it can get pretty tedious trying to schedule a call with your international family and friends.
Yup.
Number 7. The internet sucks. If you finally do manage to get a hold of your family and friends, time zones might not be the only thing that get in the way. Because even if you schedule that Zoom call perfectly, the internet might just randomly cut out or start lagging, and by the time it's fixed, it's probably the other person's bedtime.
But what about FaceTime? Forget the Zoom. What about FaceTime? FaceTime is automatic, right? It's just going to connect. It's an iPhone. It's an iPhone. It got to just connect and be stable. The connection has to be stable on an iPhone. Can somebody please clarify this in the comments for me? Please. If I were to FaceTime you right now from the United States of America and you were stationed in, I said stationed as if you're in the military or something, and you happen to live in Australia, and we were to FaceTime, would the connection be stable or would it be just poor connection low, and then just be all choppy and laggy? I hope not.
Sure, the United States isn't anywhere near the best when it comes to internet speeds compared to most developed countries, but it's light speed compared to Australia, which is only ranked as the 43rd best country for internet. And no, I don't just mean that on average it has relatively slow download and upload speeds. I mean the most expensive plans still disconnect or lag frequently, and a lot of the plans actually have data caps. Who does that anymore? A 200 gigabyte a month plan in Brisbane with with download speeds only up to 12 megabits per second will cost you $65 a month. And don't even think about going over, or you'll have to pay an outrageous fee, and your internet speeds will slow down to 256 kilobytes per second. That's just ridiculous.
Well, wait. Why don't you just get like a modem? I wish I could show you guys what I have right behind this door. We have our home Wi-Fi, but it's too slow. I don't like it. So I went out and bought me, is it a Netgear? It was like one of the newest updated Netgears years ago, because I used to play video games years ago and the connection was too slow. No, we're not doing that. I had to jump on my bike and go to the store or something. Had to go spend that money. No. I paid about, I want to say about $199 US for that modem, and it connects via LAN cable to your actual home modem, or should I say router, your actual home router, and it separates your Wi-Fi, should I say. So you get a 2.4 gigahertz speed and you get a 5 gigahertz speed, both separated Wi-Fis for yourself. Now the connection down here is so strong that anybody that comes to this basement, they can't even use the original home Wi-Fi. They have to use mine, and they have to ask for a password and everything. So I put them on the 5 gigahertz because the 5 gigahertz is slower than the 2.4 gigahertz. 2.4 gigahertz is like if you want to download games, movies, or just simply unpause a video without it buffering, you know, having that little loading icon in the middle. Yeah, it's great. You guys should look into that. Do you have that out there in Australia? It'd be great if you guys had that. That way you could boost your internet connection without having to pay so much money. Is that possible?
Everything wants to kill you. If the frustratingly slow internet speeds are enough to make you want to go on a digital cleanse and take a camping trip out in the wilderness, well, don't, because literally everything here is trying to kill you. Yeah, Australia's home to box jellyfish, stonefish, tons of poisonous snakes and spiders, blue-ringed octopuses, stingrays, sharks, and the largest saltwater crocodiles in the world. Wait, did you think I was done? No, I'm just getting started. Because kangaroos, dingoes, cassowaries, emus, cone shells, and drop bears can all pose serious
cone shells? Man, get out of here.
Threats. Okay, well, maybe not the drop bears since they don't actually exist, but the rest of those animals have all taken human lives. Australia just isn't a place where you can spontaneously go for a hike or swim without being very cautious of your surroundings at all times. Heck, there's a story of a man being snatched out of his boat in a river by a giant crocodile while he was just going fishing with his family. Although, don't get too worried, because you're actually more likely to die by falling off a horse than from one of the deadly critters here. Just be careful and respect the animals whose homes you're visiting. Except for kangaroos. While you might think they're so cute and cuddly, they can be vicious, and many Australians actually see them as pests. The only reason the country hasn't declared war on them yet is because the kangaroos outnumber Australia.
I was about to say, I just did some research on the kangaroos, man. Come on, that means my research is valid. My research is valid. I'm a nerd. I'm getting all excited. I'm a nerd. Hey, ain't no shame in my game. There's so many kangaroos in Australia. If it were to be the whole Australia versus the kangaroos, I don't think the humans would win. There's too many of the kangaroos. There's too many of them. There's too many of them. I think it's like 6 kangaroo per human or something. Some craziness or something like that. Oh, boy. No.
Australians 2-1, and the Aussies don't want a repeat of what happened in the Great Emu War of 1932. Spoiler alert, the emus won.
Oh.
Number 5, bad drivers. While many Aussies try to blame the kangaroo and
that's everywhere.
their lack of road sense is the reason for so many car accidents, only 7,992 kangaroo collisions actually occurred in 2019, which was less than 5% of the total automobile accidents in Australia. So maybe the drivers should start taking a little more responsibility. Now, of course, every town, city, state, and country is going to have its fair share of bad drivers, but the drivers in Australia are really some of the worst in the world, and I'm not just saying this as some American trying trying to diss Australia because I love Australia, and even people from Australia will admit that the drivers here are terrible. In fact, Aussies actually upload more videos of illegal and bad road behavior than any other country.
We don't see it over
4,
here.
It's expensive.
They don't show us
Aside
that
from the
side.
aforementioned incredibly expensive internet, pretty much everything else here is expensive too. Because while Australia is big, it's still an isolated island, so a lot of things have to be shipped over long distances to get here. Of course, the cost of living varies based on location, with it generally being cheaper the farther you get from the coast and major cities, but Australia as a whole is pretty pricey. Granted, it is balanced out by the decent job pay, since Australia actually has the highest after-tax minimum wage of any country and a top 10 average income at around $64,000 per person per year. But then again, this also just creates an expensive cycle, since the high minimum wage means high production costs, which means it's cheaper to import goods, but imported goods are expensive, and well, that's just economics. And even though most of the wages are livable, they're not necessarily enough to buy a home, especially in Sydney or Melbourne, where the median home values are 1.15 million and 855,000 Australian dollars respectively.
Yo, y'all are rich. I just told you a few of my supporters live in Sydney. Are you rich? Are you rich? You let me know. I'll book that trip right there to Australia. I'll be right at your front door. I'm staying with you.
That's nearly 820,000 US dollars for your average home in Sydney. Number 3. Places close early. To add on to the fact that things are expensive here, it might be difficult to even buy said things if you're working normal hours, since most shops, stores, and restaurants usually close by the time the sun sets during the week. And if they operate at all on the weekends, they're probably going to have even more limited hours.
Yeah,
this one isn't a
right
huge deal once you're used to it and plan accordingly, but it can be a big culture shock if you're coming from the States where there's an abundance of 24-hour businesses. Now, to be fair, a few places do actually stay open later if you're in a big city like Sydney, Brisbane, or Melbourne, but it's hard to buy things past 5 or 6 p.m. pretty much anywhere else.
Yeah, like when I first learned about that, that's so ridiculous. That's just so crazy. Just have food in the house at this point. What you need to eat out for? What you need to go out there for? Just have some food, cook dinner. Family time. We eating dinner together. Come on now. Stores is closed at 5, 6 p.m. We should be eating dinner together at the table around that time, right? You would think we're doing that over here in America. We ain't nobody doing none of that. Ain't no tradition out here. What about out there in Australia? Are you guys eating dinner together around 5, 6 p.m. as a family? We don't do that over here.
Number 2, poor mental health.
Wait, and even after electrical class ends at 10:30. The scheduled time is 10:30, but we leave around 9:30 every class. Nobody want to stay that late. Even the instructors don't. So they let us go a little early. There's times where I went to Buffalo Wild Wings to go get some wings and fries at 11:30 p.m. at night. Yeah. I'm hungry. And they open. Forget the fast food. I like real food. It has to be good eats only.
Services. Despite their vivacious exterior, Australians usually keep their feelings to themselves. It's just not normal to talk about personal problems here, and the mental health of the nation is suffering for it. Now, there are free care options available for at-risk individuals, but since there's a shortage of psychologists, it's left many other people with no one to talk to about their problems unless they pay a lot of money out of pocket. And even then, many doctors and citizens as a whole aren't well educated in the case of mental health here, so good therapy isn't easy to find. 1 in 5 Australians between the ages of 16 and 85 have experienced mental health illness, and over 20% of young Australians struggle with depression or anxiety. Maybe the mental health issues here actually contribute to that risk-taking, fearless reputation most Australians have earned themselves, since it's kind of the culture here to just suck up your problems and pretend you're always having a good time.
Y'all are doing it the right way, actually. It's life, man. You don't need no psychologists. They see about 100 people a day, just like you. They just want to take your money, and they're going to agree with you. with their glasses on and their little notepads. Nobody got time for that. Speak to your family. Talk to yourself. You may think it's crazy, but talk to yourself. If you are a religious person and you have beliefs, talk to God. You don't need a psychologist. I don't know why people in this whole entire earth think that it's okay to just run to other human beings about their problems. Nobody in this world, on this earth, can help you with your problems but yourself and Most High. I'm being serious, guys. So yeah, forget the psychology. You don't need that. You don't need that, man. You do not need that at all.
Subscribe, and if you'd want to see more videos about Australia or any other countries in general, let me know in the comments.
This is a great video, man. This is a great video, man. Original video link will be in the description down below. Do you guys feel that these 10 reasons not to move to Australia were accurate? And please feel free to explain down below why or why not you feel that they were accurate. If you enjoyed this video just as much as myself, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and turn all post notifications on so you don't miss another one of these reaction videos. Feel free to share this video and this channel to your friends and family members as well, guys. The support truly means the world to me, and I truly don't take any of you for granted. I am so thankful for all the support. We only have 2 videos up on this channel. And boy, Australia has just been showing me love. Daily uploads on the way. Please let me know in the comments as well if you would like daily uploads. Feel free to share this video and this channel to your friends and family members, whoever you feel may be interested in joining us along on a daily basis. Joining the family along to check out these amazing, intriguing videos. Feel free to spam my comment section and use that suggestion link down below in my description as well if you would like to recommend some more of these phenomenal videos for me, myself, to react to. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today on this beautiful day to watch this video about 10 reasons why you should not move to Australia. Everyone stay safe, and I'll catch you all in the next reaction video.